everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're looking at the Cadillac Vistiq. I'll include a link to the Cadillac in Salt Lake's website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. We have a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack, a dual electric motor setup, 305 miles of electric driving range, 615 horsepower, and then 650 pound-feet of torque. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it really helps us out. This one's finished in the Radiant Red. It's definitely a bright but also beautiful color. Now, like most modern Cadillacs, we've got a really cool headlight design here, and it also has a cool fill-in animation. It takes forever for it to load up though. There you go. Why so slow? But still, definitely fun. Anyways, the front end's closed off, of course, for aerodynamic efficiency. And to the untrained eye, it's honestly hard to tell the difference between the different electric Cadillacs. Our tire wheel setup is 285 by 45 by 21. You can see with the wheels, we've got some metallic gray, some silver. It's kind of looks like a flower. Got these really nice blacked out fender flares. You can see silver trim here on the side too. Got more silver trim with the Cadillac badge. And this has the cool pop-out door handles. And then here is the side profile, very sleek looking. Now with the key fob, we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, the opening for the rear hatch, and then the Cadillac logo on the back. And speaking of the rear, we do have a third row. We'll get back there in a little bit, but decent space behind the third row. This is nice. So for the second row, you can lower it down with those buttons. The third row, you can raise and lower, and there's a little charge port next to it. And taking a look under the load floor, there's actually a decent amount of storage, which is nice. Now the taillight design is very interesting because you have this top light, and then you've got a bottom light as well. So kind of a unique take on the taillight setup. And another thing that I love is the Cadillac badge is actually how you open up the hatch. You just press that in. And that is everything for the exterior. Let's now pop inside. This is pretty cool with the soft touch trim up above and then down below as well. The little door handle, and then you've got kind of a piano black finish on the window control there. These seats are pretty fancy looking with all the stitching and perforations. I will say, room in the third row, not great. Getting in, also not great. Once you are back here, you've got nice padding, nice trim all over the seats. And there's even a glass roof up top for extra light. The legroom here in the second row is pretty good. It also got a little storage pocket, and there's stitching on the back of the seat. There's also a screen back here for stuff like the heated seats, the climate controls, and it looks like the third row even has their own climate as well. We have some vents down below and a full outlet as well. Before we pop in, I do want to mention the charge port's just over here on the driver's side, and it does have fast charging. But let's pop up front. We've got more nice soft touch trim at the top of the door panel. You can see down below really cool trim as well. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then with the seats, we've got memory seat function, seat adjustments on the side, heated and cooled seats as well. It even has massaging seats. You've got all of your window controls here. The mirrors do power fold in, and the handle is pretty cool. Look at the headrest there. They are nice trim all down the center of the seat. Pretty fancy pedals there at the bottom as well. So this should work. I should be able to put my foot on the brake. Oh, it's supposed to close the door, but it didn't do it that time. Anywho, we've got this fancy 2-spoke steering wheel. We've got controls like your volume controls, phone controls, voice command controls on the right-hand side. Controls for your Super Cruise heated steering wheel on the left-hand side with your V mode. You've got a regen paddle there in the back, and then regular little stock on one side, calm shift on the other. Now the gauge cluster is fully digital, has all the information you need right there, right? How fast you're going, how much charge you have. Now off to the left-hand side of the screen, just kind of like the Escalade, you've got this little touch screen that you can, well, apparently it doesn't want to pick up my finger. There we go. You can go through stuff like the light controls. You can also change the screen layout itself. 360 camera system in reverse and pretty good resolution overall. Now I will say, picking a full blacked out theme is not the best for glare, but it's also not the worst. Anyways, quick response time with the screen and stuff like your drive modes is built into the screen itself. And don't worry, Cadillac gave you a side of screen with your screen. You've got another screen down below for the climate controls up front. It also controls stuff like the heated and cooled seats and the massaging seats as well. So this is the little storage area beneath the whole center console setup. This is the middle tier of the center console setup with the phone charging pads. And this is the top with the physical control for the infotainment system. It also has the little shortcut buttons and a volume control, some cup holders right next to it. And then you have an actual center console itself, which is pretty spacious, has a USB port inside and some nice trim on the top. This also has a camera rear view mirror, and then we've got a panoramic sunroof. And this leads us to the pricing. This is a luxury. Total MSRP is $80,315. Let's see how this electric Cadillac performs. Cadillac Vistiq. Man, Cadillac is just going all out with the EVs. They have an EV version of every single one of their SUVs now, I think, because, gosh, I'm not even gonna remember all the names because it's all EECs, right? You've got Lyriq, you've got Vistiq, you've got Celestiq, Escalade IQ. But yeah, I mean, they pretty much have every size category covered now, because so the Cadillac obviously is the Escalade IQ is obviously the Escalade. This is like the XT6. The Lyriq is like the XT5, and then the Optic is like the XT4. Where did I get Celestiq from? Maybe that one's coming out soon. I can't remember. There's too much going on in Cadillac's lineup now, and the names are all so similar. Like I said, the names are similar, the cars look very similar. Like, I review cars for a living, and I drove through the lot the other day and I'm like, oh, they don't have any of these on their lot yet, the Vistiqs. And I don't even think I'm pronouncing that properly, to be honest, but they did have them on the lot. I just didn't differentiate it enough from the other ones. Yeah, I know. I literally, just so you know, just so I could like figure out that this was one, there obviously is the badge on the back, but I didn't see the back. I literally had a picture on my phone and I had to just match it up, and I go, okay, that's the right car. So yeah, I think maybe they should do a little bit more with the style, but maybe people don't care about that. I mean, as long as it looks good, right? Who cares if they all look the same? I will say the ride quality is nice. Seats are pretty comfortable, and the power delivery is obviously going to be fantastic. Electric cars having instant power, instant torque, have great power delivery. It's just smooth. It's nice and smooth. Man, Subaru drivers, they're always like, go, go, go. If anyone road rages here in Utah, it's always a Subaru. From my experience, it's always a Subaru driver. What is that freaking out about? I have a GoPro on my head. Anyways, what I will say, even though like it's a super windy day today, I feel like I'm hearing a little bit, but not a lot. So it seems like the cabin insulation here is pretty rock solid. This definitely feels like a big vehicle. It doesn't feel as big as the Escalade. This weighs actually about 1,000 pounds less than the Escalade, believe it or not. The Escalade IQ. Big part of that's the battery. Because the battery, the Escalade IQ, I think is like 100 kilowatt hours more in capacity or something like that, roughly. So that's the thing about these electric cars, is you're going to see much bigger weight differences because of batteries. And that also affects the range, right? This has just over 300 miles range, whereas you get those Escalade IQs and you got over 406. I think it's like 460 if I remember right. So it's kind of the equation that they've got to make with EVs. How big do you do the battery pack? You know? And if you have a bigger car, you're going to have a bigger battery pack to have solid range. It's just kind of how it goes. This drive's nice. It drives really nice. Like it's pretty darn comfortable, and like I said, the acceleration's smooth. Pop it into the little V mode here. See how that scoots. Oh! Yeah, it's quick. It's definitely quick. Again, I think EVs are perfect at like 400 horsepower. This is great, obviously. Not necessary though. And test out the regen pad. Oh, okay, yep, really aggressive with the regen. You could basically just drive with a paddle instead of the brakes, which is weird. That's weird, isn't that? Man, that's weird. Just imagine driving around and you're clicking a paddle instead of your brakes. What? Wait, it's a full stop? And if I let go, does it? No, the car stays. I think this is cool. I think it's cool that Cadillac's at least offering this. I think that's really where the car market needs to be, because some people like the EVs, some people don't. So at least having it as a viable option is nice, as long as it doesn't affect the availability and the pricing of ICE cars. That's where I'll draw the line, because if this is going to make the ICE cars less available, more expensive, oh, that's not great for the average consumer. But at the same time, if one automaker's doing that and the other automaker's not, and they keep their car less expensive, then the other automaker's gonna win. Or greed will win, and they'll all just make their cars more expensive. that's also kind of how things end up looking sometimes. So let me guys think about this 3-row EV. Again, this is kind of like the XT6 EV from Cadillac. I think that it's nice to have, and Cadillac, I mean, GM in general probably has the best electric lineup in the US market right now. Like, I mean, compare them to Tesla, and it's like Tesla has a car, a crossover, a 3-row, and a truck. GM has several crossovers, several 3-rows, several pickup trucks. They have an off-road pickup. Like I think they have the most expensive EV lineup. So pretty interesting to see.